On this video, it's 11:22 a.m. Chicago time, Wednesday, 12th of October 2011. Been done trading for a while now and just looking at the market, and we're kind of back up at 1200. I said a few days ago, once we bounced off that bottom trend line, that mentally we'd have to get prepared for a rally back up to this kind of region. Monday was very quiet, didn't trade Monday, and you can see that was kind of one of these gap and go markets. You know, the professionals, I think, used it as an opportunity that then people wouldn't be around to kind of set the pace, kind of get it going. Yesterday I found very difficult day to trade. I was closed my day after being down 3 points and I think about 8 trades done. It was really hard work. It was incredibly slow, and you can see the volume, you know, on an open day after a closed day was, you know, incredibly light here, well short of average volume. Today's been pretty light, although there's been some kind of nice moves. And just looking at that trend line chart, here we go. So we, you know, initially broke down, got as far as I think it was 1078 when we kind of broke the bottom trend line here, and then we bounced back into congestion. And I said the next kind of target on the upside would be the upper side of the congestion zone, and here we are, just looking to break out. The question is, are we actually going to go now? I'm 50-50. I could believe it if it goes, so I'll kind of wait and see. But on some timing, cyclical turns kind of stuff, we've got some stuff happening in the next couple of days. It's going to be really important. So first of all, just let me show you on the oscillators. So beta trend is now pretty overbought, positive 184. Yesterday or Monday, we had divergence pattern come up, which means when we're kind of overbought in a situation like that, that means we're close to a turn on the indicator. I've got a whole bunch of kind of long positions in on the beta trend indicators, so when that turns over, those will all take profits, which will be fairly good. Not that I'm not trading this. I haven't been trading beta trend for maybe a year now. I still think they're very good systems, but there's just too much volatility, and there's enough volatility during the day for me to make good money and take my day trades without having to worry overnight and have, you know, positions with, you know, big kind of gaps and moves overnight. So, but beta trend's still really helpful in terms of showing me the way, in terms of directionally what might be happening. So we're overbought, we've got this bearish divergence signal in, we'll have a turn down in this indicator, and so does that mean the market's going to flip over? In terms of beta sine wave, we're extremely close to this cyclical cross on beta sine wave, so that's kind of lining up. Equity markets tends to lead the other markets, so this will kind of turn over first. It's at an absolutely kind of critical point around here in this kind of congestion zone. You know, let's see if we can kind of keep it going. On the other markets, just to show you that that cyclical turn is lining up on everything. And so again, the equity markets, it's early, but here's crude, got the same thing happening in the next couple of days. Here's gold, same thing, coming up to a cyclical cross. Silver, a little bit further away, but it's due. And this move up is very weak. Amateur up bars into a, you know, this will be a pullback and a downtrend move. Aussie dollar kind of raced away back up to $1, and we're a little bit of ways away from a cyclical turn there. Copper, again, this will be a pullback and a downtrend when it signals, a couple of days away on that. Euro, same thing, we're coming up to that cyclical turn. So, you know, during, I'm thinking, you know, Friday to Monday's kind of time frame, that's going to be an important kind of you know, will we roll over at that point? Who knows? And then on the other side, on the downside, on the dollar index, a couple of days away from this cyclical cross, kind of lining up down here. Quite a large amount of selling at the moment on better momentum, and a couple of, you know, amateur down bars leading into this support, potential support area. And then 30-year bonds, again, cyclical cross. Now this has kind of come in a little bit early. We've got Rambo patterns down here. Again, pretty extreme selling at this point, so this will likely kind of hold a little bit and we'll test back up. So, you know, if that happens, that means equity markets down, bond markets and US dollar kind of up. So let's kind of wait and see. In terms of today's trades, just let me show you this on the long-term chart. 40,500 tip bar chart. Last couple of days we had our end of trend. Because we had our exhaustion buying at the end of trend around that region, we need to wait for the second cyclical turn after end of trend, and we've kind of pushed on through that level on the 40,500 tip bar chart, although today's activity, exhaustion buying, blue professional bars kind of coming in at those highs. In terms of my trading today, been nice, 6 3/4 points after 6 trades. Got on top of 2 nice previous moves. Let me just show you those. So getting along at 12.0150, we had these blue professional bars kind of coming in at cyclical support here. I was trying to figure out, are we going to break, are we going to rally? And we had blue professional bars coming on the 1500, 500 and 4500 simultaneously right at this point here. Looked like we were initially going the other way. I was actually in a short trade, reversed and went long 12.0150, just as we broke up above the high of that blue professional bar. Then we took off to the upside. That was good. Well, I got 4.5 points out of it, but it was good for a little bit more. And you can see it ran into a pro signal exit bar, which is exhaustion bar, and blue professional bar kind of topped out here with a bearish divergence signal. And then we went and make a second turn, a second higher high, but this one was a flush signal. Blue professional bars kind of come in again. Here you can see it, the high flush signal here, and I went short at 875 and took out 3 points on the way down. Now that was a bit of a risky trade because I was kind of going against the overall trend. This is probably a better point to be starting to think about going short, because now we're testing back up. We've got Rambo patterns, very weak buying. Look at these better momentum right on the zero line here. We're trying to test back up into these 12.07 type levels. Extremely weak at this point, but remember FOMC today, 1 p.m. Chicago time is the announcement, so it gets extremely quiet kind of leading into that, so I wouldn't be expecting a trend move. But what happens after that will be interesting. You know, if we tested these highs enough in order to break into a downtrend after that. This particular move was on the 4,500 tip bar chart, pull back to end of trend, which is nice. So that was that blue professional bar, got in the break of that high of that bar, and went to 12.09, I think, kind of reached. Blue professional bars kind of come in after bearish divergence. We start to weaken, and then this is this kind of short trade that I took from 875 down here. Again, a bit risky. You know, it was a bearish divergence signal after those highs, but I should be really waiting for the pullback to end of trend before getting involved in any kind of short trades. But just looked like it was lining up after we'd had it. It had turned fairly, exponential after all this buying, but that was the signal, the flush signal there on the 1500 tip bar chart. I'll tag on those 2 day trades. The other ones were small win, small loss. So I was down 3/4 of a point when I got those 2 kind of winners. So it wasn't too bad. Anyway, so I'll tag on those day trades so you can see those setups. And just important when you're your trade is not working out, to be able to read this and say, look, all the blue professional bars kind of coming at these lows. We've tested back down. We had Rambo patterns, ran a little bit too far. Bullish divergence, blue professional bar, the high of that gets taken out, and it was kind of support on the 4500 tip bar chart as well around this area. So anyway, I hope you traded well today. Reverse went long at 150. So what didn't I like about this? We went into a Rambo pattern at 99.5, looked like it was breaking down. Then we hit another Rambo pattern on the way up. This amateur down bar. Here all of a sudden we're breaking up above cyclical resistance into an uptrend here. And we've got support on 1500 tip bar chart. Yep, here we go. All of a sudden everybody's realized this blue professional bar was actually buying at the lows. All of this activity was lows. We just couldn't break through 1200, so we're going to go back, go to new highs. So it's a shame, 1.5 loss on that last one, so I'm down 3/4 of a point. But now let's have a decent trend move. We've just been moving in this really tight consolidation 4-point range. Let's have a breakout move, please. I'm going to try pushing my target out to 7.5, 750. Original target's 5.5. The reason for that, I'm going to break above this zone here. All of a sudden up at these highs there's going to be a lot of stops triggered. 4 is resistance here, 3.25 there. So around now we should just hit a whole bunch. No blue professional bars yet. Up at these highs we're at an uptrend on the 500 tip bar chart. So let's see, 7.5. Okay, a tricky one. Just had exhaustion buying on the 1500 tip bar chart. No blue professional bars here. Kind of due for a cyclical top. 500 tip bar chart, I've had exhaustion buying, blue professional bars kind of come in. Original target's at 5.5. 7.5 does look a stretch from here, but I'm surprised there wasn't more of a activity at 12.04 around here. You'd think there's a whole bunch of stops. So I thought there'd been more fireworks. Maybe when we get into the fives, possibly. Let's see. There we go. Around the fives, there was more. We had two kind of bursts of stops getting hit. So here we're at sixes. So I would have been taken out on my original target. So it's going a little bit parabolic as well on the five. Okay, pro signal exit just gone off on 1500 tip bar chart. So I should be out at 5 3/4, but still hoping for a fraction more. Couldn't hold through there. I think 6.5 would have been a better target than 7.5. Anyway, so it's not bad anyway. 4.5, and yeah, 3 3/4 points for the day so far. Yeah, 6.5 would have been a better target. It's kind of keeping going. Anyways, started to bearish divergence, just coming 500 tip bar chart, rainbow pattern here. It's kind of gone a little bit exponential. Pro signal exit. So yeah, maybe it's going to make it. It's going to go to sevens. Blue professional bar coming on the 4500 tip bar chart. Well, what do you know? Got 875, and checking my targets. I am definitely trying to catch a top here. But 1500 tip bar chart just had a flush signal come in. So we've had this basing pattern, then we had professional accumulation, test back down, and this was the key to this move setting off. Exhaustion buying on the upside, wasn't extreme as kind of pre-open. Bearish divergence, come into these amateur down bars into support, and we come back up. A whole series of blue professional bars there are dozens of them on the 500 tip bar chart right up here at the highs, and on the 45. So flush signal comes in, quite extreme buying. We're going to have a cyclical turn here. It's not a pullback to end of trend yet on the 500 tip bar chart, but just trying to catch a little bit of this kind of explosive move up. So let's see. Okay, a few minutes later, tried to make a pullback to end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart, but the pullback level's not holding. We're kind of breaking through that, which is kind of a good sign. Just means that the trend was kind of overextended. So we're kind of trying to just break this support, kind of overextended, and we didn't make it. Wasn't strong enough to make a pullback to end of trend, which is a good sign. So the bearish divergence come in here on 500, also 45. We had it earlier on 15, and this is lastly a flush signal here. So all those blue professional bars coming in here. So there's a good chance that this is a good kind of reversal point. Not sure for how long it's going to go, but here we go. We're breaking down to 7 1/4. So I'm looking for 4 3/4, 475. Kind of around here. So if everybody kind of loses confidence temporarily, might be good. Let's keep holding. Come out at 575. That's not bad for 3. The reason for getting out, just think we're kind of overextended down here. Saw blue professional bar and a rainbow pattern. We've got cyclical support going to come in at some point on the 1500 tip bar chart, but I think 475 was almost hit there. Yeah, almost. Anyway, that's fine. Yep, just got hit. Never mind. Yeah, did that on the upside as well, so that's my usual pattern. Just for 3, which is good enough. So I had 3 3/4 before that, so I'm out with 6 3/4, which is good. Makes up for yesterday's loss of 3 yesterday, so need to make a little bit more back up today. But that was a good exit. Shorts coming to extreme selling down here at -8,000 on better momentum, so it's still going down. So that was a good reversal spot. So we had exhaustion buying, bearish divergence, then a flush signal, bang, and with those blue professional bars after that flush signal on this 1500 time frames, good signal. Anyway, that's me done for today. So happy with that. Hope you traded well.